Tim, your movie is about three brothers who kind of learn that they're related as young men. And they had been through a lot of media attention and kind of got burnt by it. I mean, when you showed up, did they take convincing to sit for a film?
It took 4 years. I got engaged, married, and had a child in the space of time it took us to convince them to take part in the film. So it was pretty hard going because of the trauma that had been inflicted on them and the kind of sense that they'd been let down by so many people in the past. How
does that process work? Here's this British guy who kind of shows up in New York and says, I want to talk about some painful things that happened to you in the past.
I think it helped actually being British, and sometimes being an outsider can be really useful. Their interest is kind of piqued, they're kind of intrigued. Really, it's just a process of earning trust. I mean, you can't do anything without trust, and spend a lot of time without cameras, just going to meet them, meet their families, meet their friends, explain the kind of film we wanted to make. But I mean, to be honest, even when we were filming, there were days when I thought, are they going to show up? And for the master interviews, I mean, we really didn't know if they were going to turn up or not.
What is the moment like when you complete a film and you decide to show it to your subject or your contributor? Do you do anything to prepare them, or do you sit nervously to the side of the room?
It is very nerve-wracking showing them the film. The experience I had with the brothers when they watched it, they both liked it. I showed them separately, and that was lovely. They both kind of got up and hugged me afterwards, and it wasn't about liking the film. It was like, you did what you said you were going to do. And I realised at that moment, I hadn't realised it making it. They'd been let down so many times by so many people that just the act of literally following through on what I said I was going to do was a huge moment for them. And I never expected that to be the big emotional release from them.
I mean, how conscious are you when you're assembling your film of eliciting an emotional response from the audience?
For me, like, emotional truth is what we're striving for in documentary. There is this school of thought which is that documentary should be very dispassionate and just the facts kind of thing. But I think you can have that narrative fidelity, but if you don't have a kind of emotional truth to your storytelling, then the audiences aren't going to connect with it. And that's part of what makes it cinematic, is eliciting that emotional response. I wanted the audience to go through what they went through. I wanted people to experience the highs and the lows, and that's very much why we kept it kind of forced perspectives. People talk about the reveals in the film. There are a lot of twists in Three Identical Strangers, but it's very much just from the perspective of the brothers. You learn information as they learnt it, and so you're very much like on that journey with them, and that was really, really important to me.
How did you go about getting a score for your film?
So my editor put this Billy Joel song in the film, where the lyrics of the song like directly reference two characters from the film. We actually thought at one point it was about those characters. It just ends up as coincidence, even though he was around at the same time. My editor had it in the film, and the commissioners and everyone who put money in were like, "Oh, we love that, we love that." And then the record label wanted crazy amounts of money. We had this great music supervisor who just said, "Just try writing to him." And I wrote, we didn't even have an email. I wrote sort of like a handwritten letter to Billy Joel. Okay. And he came back and he let us have it for like, I don't know, it was like $1,000 or something for all Worldwide Bright. So I'm now the biggest Billy Joel fan.
You just made it so every single documentarian is going to write a letter to Billy Joel. That's so cool.
What was the biggest influence growing up that may have shaped your point of view as a filmmaker?
That's a big question. I mean, I would say in documentary terms, probably, like Michael Apted's 7 Up. Also, Hoop Dreams, that's a big one. But then just for storytelling in general, Kurosawa and Hitchcock, which, and I think that the lines between documentary and drama are getting increasingly blurred, and I think, documentary is a broad church, so all these influences are increasingly relevant.
What's the first thing you do when you wrap a film?
My documentary is still out there and a living, breathing thing. I mean, just a month or so ago, we got a call from a woman who'd seen the film and said, I was adopted from the same agency as the triplets in this film, and I've just done a DNA test after watching your film, and it's matched with another woman she was from New York, another woman in California, and they got together, and it turned out they were twins that had been separated at birth, and at the age of 54, meeting for the first time. So it's still like out there. And
got a sequel.
Still evolving.
Wow. Hi, I'm Julie Cohen.
I'm Bing Liu.
I'm Tim Wardle.
I'm Rashida Jones.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter Roundtables on YouTube.
On YouTube. On YouTube.